bringing small-town healthcare into the modern era. That was the goal today as Senator John Cornyn and Congressman Nathaniel Moran visited the UT Tyler Health Science Center.
Yeah, they met with healthcare workers, educators, and community leaders from East Texas in a roundtable. KLTV7's April Peardot was there as the $50 billion push to advance healthcare in rural Texas communities was discussed.
It's no secret that getting crucial health care in parts of East Texas can be a hassle. For Shelby County Judge Allison Arbison, she knows this all too well.
We desperately need doctors and we desperately need a facility.
The people in the county she serves have to drive at least an hour to go to a hospital.
Recently, we've also lost the hospital in San Augustine County, which is just down the road.
At today's roundtable with U.S. Senator John Cornyn and Congressman Nathaniel Moran, she and many others were informed about the push to bring small-town health care up to speed.
We all know that access to health care in rural Texas is really a concern.
The Rural Health Transformation Program is how they're addressing the need. It's part of the One Big Beautiful Bill.
To help rural hospitals, clinics, and providers in East Texas and around our state and around the nation.
Texas received over $281 million for 2026.
Texans in every corner of the state deserve access to quality health care.
Since 2015, 14 hospitals in Texas have closed, according to the Center for Healthcare Quality and Payment Reform. In East Texas, 14 counties have only one hospital, and 6 counties have none at all.
The money that's allocated, the $281 million, is going to be competitively given through the state of Texas to go out to great ideas to say, hey, here's a desert.
For Luke Schwartz, a third-year medical student at UT Tyler.
For those of us who grew up here, the goal isn't just to practice medicine, it's to give back to the communities that got us to where we are today.
He's hoping this 5-year investment will definitely reciprocate for generations to come. April Peardot, KLTV 7 News.
And when it comes to dispersing the money, they say they're still in the early stages. That funding will be divided across different initiatives, and organizations will then be able to apply for this support so they can decide where all that money goes and to which small rural towns that need it.